Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about updates from the Belgian Grand Prix. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. Now as we know, it was a wet, dry race and the race was delayed due to rain. Now I can understand the delay, visibility was an issue, but I think it took a bit too long for the race to get underway. You know, the sun was coming out, we could see blue skies, but yeah, it just took a bit too long, I think, for racing to get going again. And on top of that, it was a rolling start instead of a standing start, which I was surprised about because the track was drying up very quickly. And I think a standing start was fine to do, but it was a rolling start and this should have given Lando Norris an advantage. As we know, he started from pole, and due to starting from the front with a rolling start, he would have had more time to pull away from Oscar Piastri behind him, so he wouldn't have the slipstream effect going down the Kemmel Straight. But going into turn 1, it looked like Piastri sort of dummied Norris, going to the inside and then moving to the outside, and then on the exit of the corner, Piastri had a really good exit, while Norris didn't have a great one, had a bit of wheel spin, and Piastri was all over the back of Norris going down the Kemmel Straight and was able to get past him and take the lead. And that was a really crucial overtake for Piastri because when the track dried, he was the first to pit while Norris had to stay out an extra lap on the intermediates. So when Norris eventually pitted, he came out much further behind Piastri. The gap was around 8 seconds. The difference was though, Piastri was on the mediums while Norris was on the hards, and the hards could go longer than the mediums and have better tyre life. So while both drivers went to the end from that point, Norris naturally had more pace than Piastri in the last few laps of the race, and we saw the gap really coming down. But Norris made a few mistakes trying to close in on Piastri. You know, we saw him go wide at P1 and there were a few lockups as well, and as a result it was Piastri who was able to win ahead of Norris. And speaking about his race winning overtake at the start of the race following the rolling start, Piastri said, "I was disappointed it was a rolling start because I thought it would take away some opportunity. I got a good exit out of turn 1, was able to stay close, and when I was that close I knew I was going to lift just a bit less than Lando did and keep it on the track, a bit lively up over the hill, but managed to make it stick and the toe helped me out." And speaking about the mistakes he made while trying to catch Piastri, Norris said, "I had a couple of lockups in turn 1, I went off in P1, I had a big bump, I lost a couple of seconds there. At the same time, Oscar made some mistakes as well. It's just the conditions were tricky. I'm sure everyone makes mistakes like that, especially for me. When I'm trying to gain that time, I had to push. I couldn't just chill, and when you're playing on the edge like that, you're going to make some mistakes." But let's move on to Verstappen, who believes race control was wrong to delay the start of the Belgian Grand Prix due to visibility concerns. Now at the start of this video I said I felt that the FIA's decision to delay the race start was fair, but at the same time I think it took too long for the race to get underway again. And the reason the FIA delayed the start was because multiple drivers complained about poor visibility behind the safety car. But when asked when he would have liked the race to start, Verstappen said, as quoted by Racing News 365, 3 o'clock straight away. It was not even raining. Of course, between turn 1 and 5, there was quite a bit of water, but if you do 2 or 3 laps behind the safety car, then it would have been a lot more clear, and the rest of the track was ready to go anyway. It's just a bit of a shame. I knew they would be a bit more cautious because of Silverstone, but this also didn't make sense. Then it's better to say, let's wait until it's completely dry, and we'll start on slicks, because this is not really wet weather racing for me. Now respect to Max for saying this, and I can see where he's coming from because basically the race got underway when it was literally drying up. So there wasn't a huge amount of time on the intermediates, but at the same time I think visibility was the key issue here, which is why the delay happened. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Now before I end this video, I thought I'd talk about an incident involving McLaren and Red Bull's junior drivers Alex Dunn and Arvid Lindblad in the Formula 2 race before the Belgian Grand Prix. Now Dunn won that race ahead of Lindblad, but Dunn was stripped of the victory, while disqualification for runner-up Lindblad meant he did not inherit the victory either. So yeah, quite something involving the top 2 in the race. So what happened? Well, with Dunn, he was penalised after the race for falling foul of Article 1.6.1 of the F2 technical regulations, which states that all cars have to be operated in accordance with the system user manuals issued to all teams. Within those manuals is a defined start setup procedure for all drivers to complete at the start of the formation lap, and Dunn was found to have not engaged this procedure and was referred to the stewards as a result, and Dunn was hit with a 10-second time penalty. And Limvad was disqualified because his tyre pressures were found to be too low at the end of the race. Pirelli specified prior to the weekend that the minimum wet front tyre pressure was 16.0 psi, with a minimum wet rear tyre pressure of 14.0 psi. And all 4 of Limvad's tyres were below that minimum amount. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.